So today I'm going to ask my husband some questions about what it's like to live with a partner who has a chronic illness. What's one thing that you have learned that you would like to share with others?
Stupid as it sounds and as pedantic as it sounds, communication is the most important thing that you can have in a relationship, especially with someone who has chronic illness, is you can't really over communicate. And in dealing with someone who is almost constantly in pain, and usually they do a good job of covering it up, there's sometimes when you can't tell how much in pain they are. You have to just ask, listen, pay attention to your partner, and also to communicate how you're feeling, your needs. Because a lot of times, in both cases, things are taken for granted when it comes to how the other person feels. I've found, especially loving someone, being married to someone who has a chronic illness, the communication just has to be constant, but it's also worth it. I feel like it enriches both of our lives.
What's one thing that you have discovered about yourself and who you are?
Learned about myself, huh? I always felt that I was fairly empathetic. If you're not in pain, being empathetic to someone who's in pain is difficult. Understanding what that feels like is just something that's almost impossible. Not to say that you can't be empathetic towards someone who is constantly in pain, but trying to mimic that through empathy is stupid, is what I learned. And that kind of goes into the idea of being in constant communication. Basically what I learned about myself is I can't really play it off the cusp as I could with other people or in other relationships. You really have to pay attention, you really have to listen. And I just learned that I could be not as empathetic as I thought, because I would get to a point like, oh, she's hurting again in the same way, the same day. And it's true. She was. And, you have to work through those feelings of bite down on it, suck it up, rub some dirt on it. That's what I grew up with. With someone with a chronic illness, that's just not an option. They have to power through every day. What it's taught me about myself is that I can be much more attentive and not just passively around. It's taught me so much more about how to do that, and that has translated into all different kinds of aspects of my life. It's helped me be more present in every moment of my life. Work, dealing with my family, the entire perspective has changed.
Last question is a two-parter. What's one thing you would say to people living with chronic pain who are hoping to find an empathetic partner but haven't yet? And what would you say to a partner who, like you, is living with someone with chronic pain and needs encouragement?
For the first one, love yourself. You're worth it. You're worth being in a relationship with. If that's something that you don't, if you feel like it's going to be too hard on someone to be with you, it's not true. They'll love you either way. Second one, find your time. A lot of the times I'll talk to my wife and I'll be like, I'm gonna zone out for a little bit and play some video games. Don't be afraid to talk to your partner. You're a person too, and you deserve to be loved as well. Even though they're in pain, that doesn't mean that they don't want to help you, and that doesn't mean that they don't love you, and that doesn't mean they don't want to do things for you. You just have to communicate and tell them, this is what I need, this is what is going on in my life, or, this is what I feel like I'm not getting, this is what I feel like we need to work on. It's a constant back and forth. And it's helped us a lot too. We still have a lot of ways to go, but